Hey anglers, it's Brian Smith, reporter for the Peninsula Clarion here, and I'm going to show you how to make your very own Kenai River Sockeye rig. These are very easy and inexpensive to make if you do them in a large quantity and you learn on your own. You can buy these in the store, but they're a little bit more expensive that way. Plus, it's just funner. You'll need to know how to tie a hook to the line, place your attractor pattern. You'll need about 3 or more feet of leader line. I like 40 pound, and a big barrel swivel to attach to your main line. So here we go. Alright, so step 1 in tying a Kenai River Sockeye rig is making sure you have the correct gear. For Sockeye rigs, I like to have a 4 or 5/0 hook. I like these red ones because as they wear during the season, I can tell the red coating will eventually rub off. Also want to make sure you have your barrel swivels, plenty of those, nice big ones to go with your thick leader line. And glow yarn is what I usually like, in pink or chartreuse. And you're also going to want to make sure you have your rubber sinker weights. This is the heavier one or the lighter one, depending on the river conditions. These ones also work well in areas where it's not as rocky or maybe a little sandier bottom. These are your Russian river flies, which you don't need to use anymore since the Kenai River has no hook size limit for sockeye fishing. So now that you've got all the proper gear, let's go ahead and attach our hook to our leader line here. This is 40 pound monofilament that I have here, and I am just going to tie a bait loop knot, which if you haven't learned how to tie one of those, can be easily demonstrated in the video below this one. I'll just go ahead and link to it on YouTube. But a quick refresher, you just take it like that and just loop like that about 5 or 6 times like that. Pinch, bring it around, take the end of your leader line, come back through the tip just like that, if I can get it. There you go. Pull that all the way out, come back here and then pinch this again just like that. Transfer this pinch over to this hand so nothing's changed. Now take this loop, get my slack, and you're just going to go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then pull this end and it'll pull tight just like that. Now you want to just go ahead and take your piece of yarn here, doesn't about maybe an inch or inch and a half, something like that. Doesn't have to be a whole lot or real fancy or anything like that. Even just a piece of yarn from the craft store will do. Doesn't need to be any sort of fancy fishing yarn or anything like that. You just need an attractor on there by regulations to make it an official rig. So just do that. Stick that through the loop and then center down and kind of get it right in the middle. So there's one end of your rig. On the other end, you want to go ahead and tie your barrel swivel, and I will show you how to do that here. Remember, you want a nice thick one, just like that. Something beefy, because those sockeye will run on you and they'll break you off pretty easy. So now that we've got that on there, I will tie a mono knot, and if you're not familiar with that, it's pretty much the only knot I've ever had to use while fishing. I use it for fly fishing, for sockeye fishing, for pretty much any type of fishing, and that's just by looping that like that, pinching it off and bringing the end around, so I kind of have one of these, and then looping that back through just like that, back around those lines about 4 or 5 times. And that should look something like that. You just bring it in. So now your sockeye rig should look something like this. You'll attach this barrel swivel here to your main line, which is connected to your fishing rod and reel. And on the other side of it here, you'll want to do your sinker. And the reason for that is if the fish breaks you off at the hook or here at this knot, which are the most likely places, you'll still have your weights intact. You won't lose those. Alright, we'll go get them.